Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I have had a mission to complete. Now this is a task that I gave myself for a couple of days because I was so inspired by watching so many USA crafters buying things from Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby, and that particular item happened to be a Gumball machine. Now at Dollar Tree they were buying the heart-shaped Gumball machine and I absolutely love it. And then at Hobby Lobby they were also finding ceramic Gumball machines and I absolutely love those too. If I come across a Gumball machine container in Australia, I probably would get one, but for now I decided that I need to try to create some kind of Gumball embellishment. I just really wanted to try. So I went through the existing dies and I kind of like tried out with this and that and sort of compile it together and to see if it worked. But some of the first choices of the dies that I had picked out, it actually didn't work for me. And also after die cutting it once through the machine, I realized it wasn't gonna work. So I told myself that I really needed to come up with a more simpler way so that creating this Gumball machine was going to be number one, fun, and number two, not stressful. Those two are very, very important for me when I'm crafting. I don't want to carry on thinking that I need to carry on if it's gonna give me stress, because I do this craft as a therapy to reduce my stress, so I don't need to add on to it. So let me show you what I made, but I will also share with you the materials that I have used. I have used basically all of my existing dies. I did not go online to search for a new die for this, anything like that. I have a bag of foam and acetate pieces. So in here, if I see some acetate piece or some kind of piece that looks like it could be used for shakers, I save them and put it in this zip bag. And so I have many of this type, which is not very thick. So, and that's really great for me because I can stitch this really nicely. So I grabbed my circle-shaped die, and this is the one I used, and I die cut many of this circle shape, just a plain simple circle shape using the clear material I just showed you. Then I also had this piece here. This is like a trapezium piece, and this is actually part of this. Now this is a takeaway coffee cup die set that also comes with this. So this is meant to be a coffee cup sleeve part, okay? Now these two I added together using a washi tape because I like to create shakers with this coffee cup as well. But of course I did not use that for my Gumball machine. I used this. So to make my Gumball machine, I really only needed to die cut that shape and that shape. So if you go through your existing dies, you never know what type of creations you can come up with. So let me show you. So because I'm in the Valentines creating mode, I went through all of my paper collection and found some red cardstock, a pattern paper with tiny teeny hearts, and some pink pastel with some glittery accents on it. And so I die cut using this one, which is gonna be the base for my Gumball machine, and I cut many of this for the top part. So, and then I did have to die cut some little mini hearts, which I have in this bag, and you will get to see how I used them. And then I also used some of this, mainly this second compartment one here, and you will get to see because I made Gumball machine shakers, okay? So I have made this many and I really am happy with the way they have turned out. So let me show you one by one. So I'm going to turn it the other way to share with you how it looks and the processes that I took to make this. So first I had to do the die cutting, which I explained. Then I had to put the two circle acetate pieces together, like position them on top of each other. And then using my sewing machine, I went around the circle. Now, originally, I wasn't sure if I was capable of doing that, but I decided if I do it slowly, I might be able to achieve the round shape that I do need. And also, before I started sewing, I told myself not to be too hard on myself with the stitching circle shape. I said to myself, even if it's wonky, I will be so happy with it because that's what it is. Like you're crafting, they're not robot made, they're human made. So I thought it's gonna be okay. But to my big surprise, I was able to stitch the circle shape much nicer than I totally expected. So I stitched from here all the way around like that. And remember what I said, when I'm using my sewing machine, I continuously stitch. So I had about 8 sets of circles to stitch. So I stitched this 3/4 of the way, and then I grabbed another one and stitched 3/4 of the way and kept on going. And then I took it off my sewing machine and filled, see that gap there? That's the gap I used to fill my shaker mix. And in the shaker mix, as you can see, you see, you guys? I have this round clay bit, and I put 3 of those in there because I knew I didn't want it to be really thick embellishment. So I only put 3 of those, and then the rest is like tiny confettis, like holographic hexagon shaped confettis and tiny diamond dots that were the leftovers from my kids' project. So I closed it by adding on this bottom piece here. So this bottom piece, remember, it's like this. So using my sewing machine, I put the bottom part onto the bottom part of the circle acetate piece, and then I stitched it together. So it really didn't involve me gluing anything. I just did everything with the sewing machine. So that's how my bottom became. So then I had the bottom bit and then the top bit ready. And then all I had to do was decorate the rest of it to make it look more like the realistic, well, not really exactly the same Gumball, but if you look at the shape, you will know it's a Gumball machine, and I'm so happy with it. So to decorate it, I added a strip of paper at the top. And then, you know how at the top of the Gumball machine, there is like that little rounded part where it's like kind of like a handle part where you use to lift off the lid? Well, instead of the round circle, I decided to use a tiny heart shape. And I used the holographic cardstock, which I've been using very well these days, and I really love it. And so I decided to add a heart instead of just a round dome, which originally I was going to like just punch out a little circle and cut it in half like this one here. But I am so happy I used this heart shape instead. And I really love my Valentine Gumball shaker embellishments. So that's one. So for the bottom bit, I could have left it plain, but I decided to add some trim. So I added this hot pink tiny pom-poms trim at the bottom. And also, I did it to this one here. You see, you guys? I'll put it here so you can still see. And then I'll show you all the pom-pom ones first. This one says I love you. And also, I am super happy that I got to use lots and lots of the I love yous and thinking of you, that kind of thing. You know those words that you don't normally get to use unless it's Valentine's Day or like unless you're making a card for your husband or boyfriend. So I got to use a lot of those words. So here's another one with the hot pink pom-pom trim. I just love these, you guys. And here is another one. And I got to also use those clear stickers that are foiled and things. This one says love you, as you can see. And then I also had a pink rickrack, so I used that one for this pattern paper here. And this pattern paper is actually part of the Maggie Home Sunny Days collection. And I got to use the word love. And this one here says making memories. Now, the reason why there's 2 hearts on this one is as I was stitching, the heart moved to one side. I wanted the heart to be right in the middle, and it just didn't look good, so I had to put another heart and stitch it again. But I really love the way it looks. So you can make mistakes, but then you can also fix it. And this one says adore, and I got to use another different trim that I had. It is just so sweet. I thought these projects turned out so nicely, and I think these will be a wonderful gift idea as well. It is a good packaging idea also, and because I didn't use any Valentine's words on it, I can use these throughout the year for packaging, or even put one on top of a card to give it to a friend for birthday or whatever. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I hope you give this a go. If you have a particular Gumball machine shaker die, then that's great. You can use that. But if you don't have a particular Gumball machine shaped die like me, you can just combine any simple shape like these two to come up with a Gumball machine embellishment. I truly had so much fun, and I surprised myself that I can stitch the circle. I'm super happy with this, and I am super happy that I get inspired by many of the crafters here on YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.